Hello, this is Bryan Wroten and Trevor Simpson from HNN giving you our second recap from the lodging conference here in Phoenix, Arizona. So, Trevor, we both sat in on general sessions today, and I'm kind of curious what you heard from yours on the leadership panel.
Yeah, so I sat in on the A View from the Top session, and it's always interesting listening to executives and leaders in the industry talk about where they got their start and how they became the leaders they are today and how they can pass on what they know to the new leaders up and coming. Um, for example, Red Roof's president started as a housekeeping manager and worked his way up to where he is now. Um, just in general at the conference today, touching on some points we made yesterday, there's some uncertainty brewing. Isaac Colazo, our good friend over at STR, speaking at the Lodging Industry Investment Council today, said that RevPAR right now is largely being driven by the top 25 markets, specifically the Northeast, in markets like New York City and Boston. And I heard a few times today that success right now really is shifting, or it really depends from market to market. Bryan, what did you hear today?
So, hearing the just general talk today, both at the sessions at the Lodging Industry Investment Council meeting as well, plus just interviews. Everyone is just really, I think, really looking forward to getting to 2025. We talked yesterday about some of that uncertainty and that anxiety, and it really just once we get through these last, 2.5 months of the year, we'll be post presidential election. We'll know exactly what the Fed is doing. So it sounds like everyone's just hoping to enter the new year with an idea of what exactly the situation is. And once we get through it, we have an idea of what exactly any of the challenges are going to be. And once you know what you're facing, that makes it a little easier to get through it. And I think just the general outlook in terms of, transactions and demand and all of that will be a little bit easier to face just once we get through this last bit of the year. And everyone's still generally pretty optimistic, and it's just we got to get through this last bit. And sometimes the last bit of the year is always the hardest one to get through. Just end of year, trying to cram in all the stuff you got to finish up, and weather and all that. But I think it's just once we get through it, we can all have just a steady start to the year.
Yeah, I think that's the main takeaway of the conference, if there is one, is that generally optimistic, but still in wait and see mode with all of the uncertainty brewing. But in due time, things will settle out.
Well, thanks everyone for listening, and stick with HNN for further coverage from the lodging conference.
Hi, I'm Isaac Colazo, Vice President of Analytics at STR.
Hi, and I'm Jan Freitag, National Director for Hospitality Analytics for the CoStar Group. Tune in to our new show, Tell Me More, a Hospitality Data Podcast.
It's a podcast on the global hotel industry, its current trends, what we're thinking about, and where the industry's going.
And we like to have fun with the data too. Find us on hotelnewsnow.com or wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe today.
Thanks for listening. This podcast was recorded on October 9th, 2024, and produced and edited by Bryan Wroten. Go to hotelnewsnow.com every day for the latest in hotel industry news.